A lot of my friends in real life are sports-brained. Back in high school, a lot of them would get into very lengthy sports conversations, and I would just be sitting there, just saying nothing because I would have fucking nothing to add to the conversation, because I have never given a shit about sports. I mean, whatever, they can enjoy sports all they please, and who am I to say what they can and can't speak about, but it's always just been so fucking awkward, because again, I would have nothing to add to the conversation, because I would know absolutely nothing about what they're talking about. Even to this day, when I hang out with friends, on the very rare occasion I do, the popular topic of conversation is sports, sports, sports. Like just a few weeks ago, I went to go get high. I went to go hang out with some friends, and at one point, some of them had a lengthy conversation about football, and I just kinda awkwardly sat there because I know jack fucking shit about football. I just encounter a lot of people who live and breathe sports, and again, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. If you yourself enjoy sports, this isn't me shaming you or anything. I never really got the appeal in watching sports. I've seen football games, baseball games, soccer games, sorry Europeans, and very rarely am I ever entertained by them. There is an exception though, the World Cup in 2014. My grandma was watching that, and I would watch along with her, and watching it with her was fun. But for me, the fun was not watching the games themselves, but rather the time I spent with her, because she really enjoyed watching these games, and it was fun watching her reaction to the games. And those are memories I cherish because, as you probably know, she is gone now. The 3rd anniversary of her death had just passed. But aside from that, watching sports, that shit just kind of puts me to sleep most of the time. And playing sports, forget about it. If I don't like watching sports, I sure as shit don't like playing sports. I mean, you probably know what I look like. You just take one look at me and you probably guess. Yeah, that guy is probably not a sports player. The only sport I ever enjoyed playing was badminton, back in high school during gym class. On certain days during gym class, back when I was in high school, I think it was Wednesdays and Fridays, we got to pick between badminton, basketball, and volleyball. And most of the athletic kids went to go play either basketball or volleyball, and then there were students like me who weren't very athletic, or not athletic at all, who would go and play badminton. And it was really chill because, again, none of us gave a shit about sports, so none of us gave a shit about playing a perfect game or anything like that, as opposed to the more athletic kids playing the more serious sports like basketball and volleyball and such. I had a friend group that I would play with and I had a blast, and really, all in all, high school gym class wasn't that bad when I had to play shit like basketball and volleyball and such. I just didn't enjoy the sports all that much. I think what really soured sports for me was my middle school gym class, and I made a whole video about that, like, I don't know, back in 2020 or 2021, either one of those 2 years. The kids in my middle school took sports way too fucking seriously. If you fucked up even just slightly during basketball or football or volleyball or whatever we were playing, they would chew you the fuck out. And since I'm not a sports guy, I wasn't taking these games as seriously as they were, so I would fuck up and then get scolded by the other kids in my team. It was not enjoyable at all, but even way before middle school, back when I was a little kid, I would be at my dad's house on Sundays, and sometimes the Giants game would be on, and he would of course watch that because he was a huge football fan back then. He doesn't really care now, but back then, oh my god, he lived and breathed football, especially the Giants. He also really, really loved baseball, the Yankees more specifically, and every time he would watch a football or a baseball game on the TV, he would be screaming at the fucking TV every time the team he was rooting for would fuck up. This isn't unique to him, of course. I know a lot of sports fans do that, but I never really understood that. You don't play for this team, you likely don't know any of the players on a personal level, this game does not impact you in any meaningful way, so why raise your blood pressure so fucking much over a goddamn sports game? But then again, I'm sure a lot of people say the same thing about video games. Why do you get so worked up over video games? It's just fiction. I guess it just boils down to the fact that we are all passionate about different things. That may be true, but that still won't stop me from gagging every time my friends bring up sports, because I just fucking hate being the odd one out. Anxiety is such a blessing, isn't it? Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.